Congratulations,
Right.
it's not on.
I'm really good at technology. All right, so, right. Spider, back of Gavin's hand, leading you along, pointing. And I was going to look something up, and then I forgot to do that earlier, so I'm going to have to look at a thing right now. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully.
But your finger can't do this.
Well, I generally consider that a good thing.
What?
Yeah, if my finger can't make a crescent moon shape, I consider that, like, by a...
I consider that good. My fingers.
Well,
I consider that to be a bad thing.
like, that's a bonus.
But why are my fingers symmetrical?
Man came out wrong.
My hands are so weird.
They fiddled with the proportions too much.
How long have you two worked on the ship? Like, been part of the crew, you two. You're new, but how long?
Hours.
What? Excuse me, sir. It's only been 10 weeks. Like 5-something years.
So you're like a veteran crew member, really.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to find.
Yeah. Oh.
No bear mask.
Maybe I'm bragging on you.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this one picture and I can't.
One Piece is real. We got a One Piece dice set of 6s.
Right here.
Yeah, here they are actually.
So,
Yeah, so yeah, we got a set of D6s.
you know.
Behold.
The One Piece.
Actually, there's 6.
So
The 6-piece.
The 6-piece chicken nugget.
in
Gambling. Failure. Wow.
what did you?
Gambling.
You got 3-2.
Oh, look
What was your
good.
highest dice?
6.
Oh, you got a 6.
Eh,
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
in the 5 years,
5 years.
in the 5 years that you have been on this ship, you have never been in the section of the ship that the spider is leading you to.
Well, that's concerning.
And it's down in the lower parts of the ship, but it's also in an area that, well, let me put this another way. You've been to this area. You've never been through this door that it leads you to.
Concerning.
You never had a reason to, but you also kind of occurs to you, it's like it's a little weird that you've never had a reason to come down here. What could be behind here? You're not quite in the very lowest part of the ship, but you are pretty far down. And there's this door. It's got a keyhole lock in the door, and then it's got 2 additional padlocks on it as well.
Were there chips upstairs? We didn't grab the chips.
I grabbed chips. They were great. I'll go get some in a little bit. I'm curious what you guys are doing with this. So the spider is like basically tapping its little undamaged leg on the door, and it's like, here you go. But again, door locky.
I'll zap it. Really hard.
It's not an electronic lock, so that's probably not going to do very
I'll
much.
blast it open.
I mean, you could.
But
It is
also, like, we would have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't.
The property damage that I do now.
I don't want to have to.
It's bad for business.
It's bad for business.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. You could try to break the lock with just breaking things. Don't you fight with a hammer or something?
Yo,
A scimitar.
You have a scimitar. I should have given you a
do
hammer.
any of us have break?
You could have totally Thored.
Let me check. I don't have break. I have break.
You have break too. That's pretty good break.
I'll just punch it. Lots of
That's
times.
less of a good idea, but
Whatever. In any case, hitting yourself with the door is blunt damage. So,
Yeah.
should have made the scimitar a hammer. He could have, because honestly, you are not a sword wielding kind of guy when it's all said and done. You are really more of a smash people. in the face.
scimitar is very painful. That's not how you use a scimitar. I don't care.
Let me see your.
Maximum rotational force.
Maximum rotation.
Okay.
Just get a baseball.
Here's how to fight an opponent in a wheelchair.
Maximum
Their
functional.
head is at my arms, so we can utilize this for maximum rotational force to demonstrate.
To demonstrate.
Head, Wisconsin. Body, Virginia.
Don't play with
There. I have transformed your scimitar. It is now a heavy hammer that deals blunt damage. Because he already has a sword. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta mix it up. Oh, grab chips really quick. You wanna break this thing? Alright. Hey, you've done this before, so edge, skills, that kind of stuff.
Wait, I could have just held the scimitar by the blade. Beat things to death with the hand.
Okay, so we're not pommels. Scimitars are not built for pommels.
I don't care.
Okay, so what you're gonna want to do is so that's iron, break, which is 2, and then you're gonna do your heavy hammer. So you'll be rolling 4 dice. Helicopter. If I can't do that. Baby, I'm burning up. Look at this perfect stance. I'm ready for the duel. This town ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, we're back. The chance.
You were supposed to get the dice pool together.
I'm a master. Alright, we're back.
No, I mean, you're supposed to help Gavin figure out
I did. It was not difficult.
Okay, good job.
Iron, break, hammer. Hammer, break, iron. What dice? So,
Okay, so what are you rolling? What's the edge you're rolling?
iron.
Iron,
Yeah, iron.
break, and hammer. I see.
I got a 6, a 4, a 2, and a 1 piece.
That's
Hey,
not-
you got 6.
Oh,
Which is a full
yeah.
success. Or, no, just a success.
So the door cracks open, and you see something inside that
Right.
you've never seen before, and yet at the same time, it feels like it feels extremely disconcertingly familiar. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up on my phone so I can just show it to you without flipping my computer around.
No response about the cookies.
Well, she's probably riding her horse right now. You're gonna have to wait.
Yeah. No. Hey, Jack.
Suck.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna turn it into a fetching game. It's not gonna improve your situation.
Bro, for a different one.
That's not how it works, Doc.
Yeah. The problem is we have
So
random
the
balls.
interior space, you guys are, the door opens out onto, like, you know what a catwalk is? Mm-hmm. Like a higher, like sort of like a, I don't know, a walkway up high up above a larger, so there's a sort of a car, looks like it was a cargo bay. Never seen this cargo bay. And you're on a catwalk looking down into the space, and it is full of,
Do I get to beat up horse things? Shh. Oh, it's those things. Oh,
oh, it's those things?
they're back.
What do you mean, oh, it's those things? Did I show you this already?
Yeah, I think so.
It was in his dream sequence.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
All right, the web of evil.
Oh.
The web of death and destiny.
It's not, I mean, it's not a spider's web. You've seen spider webs before.
Yeah, it's the Venom web.
Yeah.
This not spider web.
It's like Venom's version of Spider Web.
And it's down there glowing softly. Definitely has a thick central mass within it. And I say there's no spiders, but there are spiders, but they seem to be in the web, which is not how webs usually work for spiders. What's that?
Well, I'm not an expert on arachnids, but generally, I feel like that's the opposite of what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, just maybe.
Now that's a weird sound.
Also, not an expert on spiders, but generally, I don't think they talk.
They're all saying help together, and all of their tiny little voices are making one voice that says help.
It's the engineer.
Oh. Oh, is that what he is? Huh.
Okay.
Alright. We're going.
Alright.
Is there like a ladder I can use to get down?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been set up.
I was this close to electrocuting all the web at the same time.
No!
Why do you need a ladder? Woke up first.
I'm like climbing down.
Well, there's like a ladder, and then there's like a spiral staircase at the end of the.
Why do you need a ladder when you can just throw?
If you jump, you're gonna land in the.
Yeah, I mean,
Stop.
God. Who put?
I mean,
is it
probably.
scary?
I mean, you could try to land down below without landing in the stuff.
Who put?
It worked really well for Gavin last time when you did a big jump.
3 for flourish? Okay.
You'd be flourish.
I have a 3.
I'm like.
Feels like it would
climbing
be
down.
vault or something, actually.
I'm like climbing down. What do you wear?
Oh,
I have 2 vault.
how are you feeling about vault?
I have 0 vault. I like vaulting. I can go.
You.
You're climbing down the ladder, Sean?
Yeah. What do you wear?
Oh, trying to figure out engine. And the spiders aren't stuck exactly. You get closer and you realize they're just laying on the webbing. I need you to make a vault roll for me. What are your edges? Are you jumping down or climbing down? I guess I should say. You're climbing down.
Jumping.
What's that?
Jumping.
Jumping. Okay, so what do
Really
you
great last time.
what are you rolling with your vault? What edge? Look at your edges. What do you got?
Am I trying to land in a specific place?
Well, yeah, you might
I mean,
be.
someplace that isn't webby, probably.
I'm like Grace. Or
Grace is perfect. Grace plus vault would be rolling 3.
You have grace.
Yeah.
What do you use it for?
Aim my pew pew.
Oh, right.
Use pew pews. Yeah, sure.
I'm rolling 3.
You turn into a distinguished gentleman as soon as
You're
you're
rolling 3.
Yeah.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
Gonna have you cut one on that.
Okay.
No, you still roll all 3, but you throw out the best die.
Just roll all 6s. That's not all 6s.
A 4 and a 1.
So it gives you a 4. 4 is a conflict. Conflict. Sean, can I see your sheet, please? Actually, I'll just look at it over here. Don't worry about it. We will look at the
Oh,
characters,
your digital backups.
and we will look at Paris here. I need you to roll instinct and sense and cut 1.
Son of a gun.
What's that?
Son of a gun. I really hate it when you take the.
Are you climbing down or leaping down?
Well, I don't have vault, so I'm going to climb.
All right.
Like a regular person?
What'd you roll?
I'm not a regular
2
person.
2s
but I'm
and
not overly
oh, and a 4, but you cut the 4.
2 man.
I mean, that's fair. I did.
Rolled a bunch of 2s earlier too. Doc. Why are you making that? Your eyes are
did you
shiny, Doc.
Because it usually works.
Can I see your sheet for a second? Actually, I'll look at your sheet over here, Gavin.
That's the same question. It comes to the same conclusion. Twice.
Once. I'm not gonna do it again.
Doc, I have nothing. Hands empty, dude. I'm gonna crack your fun pass. We.
Gotta look at Paris here too. Houston, what are you doing when you get down there?
I'm not sure what sound you're using.
It's the whole lower
Is it just more
space
stuff?
is like a network of this webbing and stuff with some larger mass.
The spiders just separated all around.
They're kind of all over the place. They're not stuck exactly, but they're just sort of laying there.
Can I ask them how they got there?
Yeah. Are you
Wait,
coming
we
down
already
to?
did.
Are you coming down to do that, or are you just doing it from up above?
Wait, we already did though.
You did. Get there, bruh.
They were the engineer was trying to figure out where the other power source was for the ship, and it disappeared. He disappeared for a while. They disappeared for a while, and he ended up here.
So,
Would you happen to know Would you happen to know what this is?
What an interesting question.
No, I should know stuff.
searching through the voice lines.
The engineer, they should know stuff.
Oh,
It's the power source. Right about
That's the
then.
power source.
Right about then. Paris sort of slumps to his knees, and is just kind of.
that's me.
He just kind of like he was reaching down and looking at one of the spiders, and he just kind of drops down and just.
No, that's me. I'm Paris.
You, Gavin, what's your
I think
bloodline?
smell.
No, not bloodline. Arden, what's your background? The origin. Ridgeback. That's right. You grew up on the. What was that? Remind me of the history with you. You were trying to get away from old family stuff. Was that? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, that like ancestors' whispers of this.
Yeah, you had like this whole family thing. Who is the? Okay, so in your ancestors are people who are gone, but who is the ancestor that whose judgment you dread the most? Is it like somebody who was alive and isn't anymore, or just like some ancestral member of the family that your family used to use as kind of a boogeyman? Like, who, like, oh, my grandmother was the one who was like always made me feel like I was never good enough, or it's like my great grandfather was like this harbinger of doom that everybody, that was like he's the one who's going to come and eat you if you don't do what you're told as a kid, or
which my great grandpappy Jimana Arnold.
You really like pulling that name out a lot.
Common name in the mountains.
That's my default go-to name.
They learned the alphabet from Scrabble.
You leap down into this area and kind of you don't exactly stick the landing. Your foot lands on some of the weapons and it slips out like a banana peel kind of thing. So you kind of go, take a couple steps back, you get stuck in some of this stuff, or it's like sticking to you a bit. And it feels like it's not super sticky, but okay. I want you to imagine like duct tape, but not fresh duct tape that's been like dropped onto a garage floor, so it's picked up grit and gravel and crap and stuff, and that's what you stick your hand in to try to catch yourself, is that kind of stuff, okay? And you can just hear the old man like, you never think before you act, boy. You never do anything. You've got all these abilities and you're wasting them, acting without thinking. You're like a wild animal with no training and no thought in your head. Useless. I'm going to have you pick up the mire that your ancestors whisper of your disappointment. You can just hear this. And the thought that comes along with it is, you're trying to make good. You're trying to get away and do something good with yourself, and it doesn't matter where you go because the voices are just coming with you.
You are constantly Martin Arnold.
My great grandpa.
He's a bad.
Jim Arnold. It's not ours.
He picked his name from a game of Scrabble.
You know, that church were playing Scrabble while they were trying to.
What? Look at your. Excuse me. Look at your mires for me.
Your ancestors.
Yeah, you don't need to read them to me. I just want you to look at them. Tell me the nightmare that you're having about one of those mires.
It's about me.
Roots you collect rot and sour in their jars.
So what?
It's less rot and sour and more Cthulhu did a little pokey.
Okay.
So everything goes. So you're having this dream about the food and the jars and stuff of all the seasoning and ingredients and stuff in your kitchen, like going foul and getting
weird. Hold on. Focus. I sent a bunch of pictures in ye old.
Okay. So you feel as you're watching this stuff. No, I remember. I want you. Well, you can find it for them if you want to, but
yeah.
It might be back when we were using WhatsApp, but I'm not sure if you're gonna find them real quick. In any case, I want you. So you're getting this. You're in the kitchen, right? All of this stuff happening, all the food going on, and you feel this wave of like nausea and sickness like wash over you. It just like twisting your gut and ringing, like really kind of a dry heave almost kind of thing that just makes you just sway your head, kind of you almost lose your balance from the nausea and stuff. Nice. Take 2 to your strong stomach trait. Take 2 hits to your strong stomach.
What's strong stomach trait?
Strong stomach? Don't you have a strong stomach? Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
You have 3 on it.
yeah, but I've previously.
You had it previously marked?
Probably because
Okay. All right. Well,
So,
yeah. So it's marked. You got 3 marked on it.
Also take.
So it's not currently. You don't currently have strong stomach as an option right now. Your stomach is not strong, and you vomit all over part of the nest here. But it does. I mean, upside, it kind of wakes you back out. He slumps and then he kind of hurls and heaves and pukes all over the area there in front of him. You can also feel the. It's interesting that you said the Cthulhu thing. You can actually feel the dream kind of fade. You know that sense of like waking up and not being able to remember the dream?
Yeah.
It's just like that, except you also get the strong sense that the reason it's fading away is because it's being pulled into the webs. And that glow within the webs kind of pulses, maybe grows a little bit. Slightly, just like a pulse out into the web, and something inside there shifts. I said there was this big mass in the middle of this whole thing. When I say big, I want you to imagine something about the size of like a car, round,
Like-
elongated.
That's like 2.3 gallons.
Okay, so long, like cylindrical kind of the couch, can you get off push the couch back, pull it back toward you, thank you.
If you hit it with too hard, it'll pieces all.
No, it's not that, it'll tip over the couch will knock this thing over. So
Because we moved it for some reason.
what because
We moved it down for some reason.
well, because we didn't want it up
That's
on
my
the
bad.
hallway. It's okay, it's all right. You didn't realize it was gonna knock it over sideways. Anyway, all right, so there's this definitely a big thing in the middle of this.
Yeah.
The word that occurs to you as you're looking at this great big thing and this mass in the middle and the webbing all around and everything, you start to say web, and then your brain changes like, no, it's a cocoon.
Real.
This is a cocoon.
What if I electrocute it?
No.
That is not our.
You know what? Go for it, champ.
That's not our default solution. Ah,
What if I electrocute
I think
it? The spiders are like, could I get off of it first?
I think Doc's impersonating you, Gavin. I won't electrocute it.
Yeah.
How are you gonna get the spiders out of here? Because he's not stuck. He's kind of like Sean. He's like tapped out and like collapsed on this thing. Gavin, you kind of feel that too. Like this voice is it. On the one hand, it's a thought from inside of your head, but it's an intrusive thought, but it's also an extrusive thought.
Yeah.
Like it's also kind of coming from this.
Well, wouldn't doubt. Cast a spell.
Electrification.
Winning cow fireball.
I'm gonna use a whisper. We will not be frozen in fear. I'm gonna speak it.
What is the whisper itself?
Oh, actually filled with fear.
We will not be filled with fear.
Yeah.
I gave you the whisper filled with fear.
Yeah, when I spooked a guy the hell out because acid crap.
Oh, filled with fear.
We will not be filled
We
with
will
fear.
not be filled with fear.
And I'm
Okay.
going to speak it so that I can control the twist.
And the twist is it gets you guys kind of woken up and free
Yeah.
of this thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I love that. I love that. We will not be filled with fear. And you can
Sounds
feel
like a
this kind
Magneto
of
line.
almost like
Sounds like a Magneto line.
Magneto!
I'm so proud. God, I love propaganda.
I miss the big sword. I won't lie, I miss the big sword.
Yeah.
But he got a cool new team up, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So, yeah, your mind kind of clears. It's like that stepping out of when you're like sleepy and stuff, and you're in like a warm car, but then you step out into cold air, and you kind of like, whoa, okay, yes, I am awake. Boom, and that like it's like that cold wash of cold air that wakes you up, and the spiders stir and move. It's like, oh, okay, we need to get out of here. Okay.
All right.
And I do a small slight. Oh, okay, nope, not doing that again. and I start climbing back up the ladder.
Okay.
Thank you, let's go. Not dealing with this crap, Captain. So
You get one of your strong stomachs back.
yay.
Gavin, you
One
can
of-
clear
one
your
of my
mire. Do
strong-
you have any mire right now?
No.
Any mire mark?
One of my strong
I've
stomachs.
never had mire.
One of my strong stomachs. I've got 3.
I have 3 strong stomachs. Can you push the couch back just a little bit?
How are you?
Yeah, the problem is
Jamar and Farn.
the couch moves really easily, and it's and this thing tips really easy. So it's a combo. It's a joyous pain in the neck combination.
Especially with
Okay, so with your mind clear, you managed to get back out of this room. Doors closed, if not locked, because you broke a thing.
It's kind of pulled mostly shut, kind of wedged
I'm
shut.
gonna reach into my pocket and slap something vaguely gooey onto like the handle.
Why?
There, I'll go get
Just to
more
make
of
it-
that spider web and I'll use
No,
Seems like a terrible idea.
we are not going to accidentally
Have
force.
you ever heard of a power source like this? Experienced sailing people.
No,
You don't think so?
something Whisperwell.
It kind of blows my mind that you haven't figured out what this is yet. I have to be honest. I'm not dissing you. I am legitimately surprised that you don't
Well,
recognize it.
I am also remembering the thing that we used to control the giant crab
Yes.
in our original family campaign. We our ship was a giant crab, and we piloted around by just sort of fiddling with the dream-eating cocoon that was kind of on top of it.
Yeah.
And we joked that eventually it would sprout into a leviathan moth, and then we would be able to fly.
Yeah, the actual let me see if I can find it
Yeah,
real
so
quick.
we were piloting around a
One of the ship-
leviathan with a steering system that could also potentially turn.
One of
into
the
a leviathan.
shipbuilding options is
I'll just electrocute him.
No, oh, you know what? If that's the only option, sure.
well, if you recall, when you tried to use the juice to power the ship, some of the juice didn't go towards the engine that was intended. That was what led the engineer to go, well, something's not right here.
Let's
see if I can find this shit.
Because
But it was the only way.
I mean,
well, thanks for that, but also like clearly
Yeah.
it doesn't work on the thing. So.
Well, it did work. It just some of it didn't work.
sorry, the rule book's being really slow loading here.
That's new. Hey, Jack, do you want to go outside? It's pretty obvious what he wants to do.
All I did was sneeze.
Yeah, but sneezing means play.
Yeah.
No, if you're messing around with a dog and like in the middle of playing with him, he sneezes. That's how dogs tell other dogs that even though we're fighting, this is play.
Oh.
That's a sneeze. That is a thing.
Yeah, so you were basically telling him, "Hey, I'm gonna jump you, but it's gonna be for fun." Hey, fighting over.
So one of the engine options
Fight Club.
is pulsing cocoon. An unknown insect shifts inside
Could you not? For like 1 second.
An unknown insect shifts inside, feeding on dreams and spinning them into an ebb of arcanautic force. Crews report intensely vivid dreams.
And nightmares. Yippee!
Well, usually, so. Oh yeah. So yeah, it gives you +1 armor. It is fueled with the dreams of the crew.
The dreams of the crew.
Also, in this case, conveniently, all of the clients, all the what do you call them?
We're gonna have to have a talk with some certain Amber interested fellows because Amber is like pretty closely related to.
One of the things that you do notice as you head, well, actually, so you guys grew up on ships. You had to have heard of this as a possible thing. You've never heard of one being this big, because this thing is enormous.
Captains. You see, dude. Let's go at it.
Chill.
And this is apparently a power source for the ship, in addition to the steam powered thing, right? Big old nest. Obviously has been here for a long time. For it to get this big, massive thing. On the other hand, it kind of makes sense because most ship crews are a certain size. You guys have all the passengers. Years and years of passengers, all having vivid dreams on the ship. So this thing is
Good for business.
this thing is really big because of that. And so you're thinking, go and tell the captains about this? Do you think they don't know? Do you remember who the captains are?
No?
Who are the captains?
Do you remember what the captains are?
What are the captains?
Mothrin, son of a gun.
One of them's a Mothrin. The other one's a moth celicrae. And they have a giant moth cocoon
Jesus.
in the belly of the ship that they've been feeding on passenger dreams for 5 years.
Jesus. Mary angels.
Alright, well, I would like to keep them.
No!
Please keep me in my office. I want to fire this man.
Well,
We have to fire him.
So it's possible,
It's not-
just possible that they already know it's down here.
well, in any case, I'm at.
Because if you recall, when the engineer said that he was going to go, like that he had some sort of, you guys were talking about this, like the engineer had like some sort of weird, like curiosity about where the energy was coming from, and the captains were like, "Don't worry about it, it's fine."
What's the
On
moth
any
celebrate's
case-
name?
What's that?
The moth celebrate's name.
There are. Let me get him.
Bob Jr. Bill and Bob Thargold.
Definitely hard no. Let me look at.
No, it's Little John
It's a
Bob.
perfect and
Little John Bob.
William Baba.
No, Little John Bob. That's what we call him.
The night captain is
Or
So
John
go-
Bob Sr.
the night captain. Come on over here. The night captain's name is Tsugozo. He's the Mothrin Ridgeback retired Horizoneer. The day captain is Jitaku. He is a moth celicrae windward augur.
Augers.
Augur.
Those are fun.
Their augurs are like fortune tellers.
In any case, I want an explanation at the very least. You know, since the inside of my stomach is now on the outside, I'm kind of since my insides are right now on the outsides. I kind of want an explanation. I feel like I deserve at least an explanation.
I mean, that is a legitimate request.
So I'm gonna go and make the request. Hey, who's the first?
Okay, so is it daytime or nighttime?
Daytime?
Daytime,
Yeah.
right? Daytime.
It's up to you. You pick.
Yeah, we were having breakfast, so yeah, it's daytime.
Oh, you're right. Breakfast, daytime. So you get the Mothrin, you get Captain Tsugozo. Tsugozo. Tzigozo. Tsugozo.
So always put it. No, there.
This is a Mothrin. His name is Tsugozo. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's the night captain. Day captain is Jitaku. You're right.
Yeah,
You get the
Celebrate always with their T, with their TZ.
You know what my great-great-great-grandpa
No.
told? A hammer is great for fixing stomach problems.
Well, it's not a stomach problem anymore. It becomes a stain. So that's
I think
Taku now.
I'm just telling you this. I think I may have got what Zoe had. I'm telling you.
Bucket or something? Should I give the bucket?
No, I'm just telling you.
You want to bring a bucket down here?
Just a heads up. My Zoe spent all of Friday night from about 1 o'clock in the morning until like 9 o'clock the next morning, throwing up every hour on the hour, pretty much.
Ouch.
And then was pretty much wiped out for the following day.
Are you sure you don't want him to get you a bucket?
No, I can get to the. She didn't have the sense to go, oh, I need to get to the bathroom because I feel like I'm going to throw up. She's like, what is this feeling? Oh, I'm throwing up.
What is this?
Then she knew, but even then she still managed not to make it to the toilet several times, which, dude.
Okay.
You should have made the skill.
I'm just feeling a little bit wonky in my stomach, and
Wonky.
yeah. All right, so let's get you up to the captain.
So-
you get up there, Captain Paris. Yes. He's the celicrae, right? So he's kind of wrapped up
right?
he's kind of wrapped up in he's wrapped up in like bandages, like the Invisible Man kind of a thing, like sort of not exactly a mummy thing, but like if a guy was wrapped up in bandages.
I know the invisible.
Oh.
It's a guy. It's a man who's invisible, and he hides up.
I know
having himself up in-
bandages.
Right, yeah, he's sort of wrapped up in bandages, although you realize as you get up that they're not bandages, they're strips of moth nest webbing.
Don't touch him, or else you'll get tired and woozy, and I'll have
Paris
to with the hammer.
and oh god, what was the engineer's name?
Spider-Man.
No, that was the
Spider hyphen man.
Spider-Man.
Spiders hyphen man.
oh, Kazo.
Spiders hyphen men. What's it? Spider.
You already made one of the crew, Jim Arnathad. Jim Arnathad.
Jim on North.
Oh my God! All right.
My name.
So Kazo, the engineer, is with you guys. Oh, you found Kazo. Kazo?
We found him in this.
Big-
Sorry, what's the name of it?
Like a cargo bay, like an unused
We
cargo
found him
bay.
in a cargo bay that was holding this like dream eating cocoon thing. I would like an
Yeah. I would like to know what that.
I would like an explanation
like to shoot at it.
since currently the inside of my stomach is in the cargo bay.
Well, you got too close to it.
Well, Kazo was in it, so I was trying to get him out of it.
It's a backup power supply that my people and that I arranged for with connections that I and the night captain's connections with our people, we arranged for this years ago, before you even came aboard the ship.
I don't think that's necessary.
So any engineer will tell you that when you're dealing with a flying ship, losing power is a bad idea.
It's bad for business.
So
What, a backup generator like that? A backup generator that eats people's dreams?
well, not eat, it feeds off them, but they're not damaged. Nobody's harmed. We have never had anyone be harmed by this. You got a little bit close to it, so there are. If you got too close, if you got too close to the steam engine, it could burn you. It's a source of power for the ship. If you get too close to it, it
Well,
can be
yeah, but
dangerous.
if a steam engine stays around long enough, it doesn't grow into a giant steam. It doesn't grow into a steam creature.
Over the course of the last 5 years, that engine has become much more complicated thanks to Kazo. I'm not saying it's the same
Well, yeah,
thing.
but it's not gonna get up. It's not gonna tear itself out of the ship and start like freaking eating people.
I don't know why you would think it would do that.
It's a cocoon.
I came from 10,000 cocoons.
Well, yes.
Do you think I'm going to suddenly break loose and eat a bunch of people? I don't even have a mouth. Not an eating mouth.
House. Cocoons house a creature. What happens when the cocoon is no longer required and the creature is ready to get out?
I'm sure that is years away. That is a future challenge. And listen, we know moth life cycles. We will know when it's coming close to the time.
What if this is different?
I'll electrocute them. It'll be
It's
fine.
No.
It's bad for business.
I'm
It's a
sorry.
backup plan.
I'm sorry about him. He needs
It's a
to.
safety measure.
He needs to take some HR class. Do we call it
It's only moments of emergency.
I don't-
It's the god of thunder, not you.
I
Captain.
don't want to hear any talk about attacking another living creature, especially one that is in the guts of the ship and could do great damage if it decided to become riled up. Even a baby can harm itself and others when it's that big. So let's approach this with some, I don't even want to say caution, with some care. All right. Do you have,
Make sure to be gentle.
You're about.
I'll just pet him. I'll be like,
Maybe
Parents-
That's not
Maybe
helpful.
Paris, do you have sense?
I do.
Do you have tides?
I do.
Why don't you roll tides and sense? See any doubles?
632.
you spell your name.
Paris.
Paris.
This thing. Paris.
Rude. It's called Paris.
He is definitely lying about the not knowing when this thing is going to wake up part.
All right.
He knows that.
Weak.
He knows that.
Sense.
Would you care to-
Deny
He's not
that.
maliciously lying, but he's like, that could be years from now. It is definitely not years from now.
Thank you for the explanation. I'm going on my break. And I walk out of the
Thank you for finding Kazo. Kazo, please stay away from the... It's not a mechanical type of... You hear him explain to Kazo. It's not a mechanical situation. You understand it's a power supply. We know how it's connected to the rest of the ship. Leave it be. It's fine. It's self-maintaining. Truly.
Alright, care to explain
I hardly even think about it most days.
what happens in home security?
He's lying.
When do you think it's going to hatch then?
I don't know, but it's not going to be in a couple. No, I don't.
I can electrocute it.
I can die. I can like.
No. Well,
Bombs do not have great electricity resistance. They're
Now,
not killing.
you told me once that you'd only been to the Whisper Wall once, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't on this ship. It was before.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was on the ship.
It was really. I think it was
sure.
on. Didn't we say it was going to be on another ship?
You said it was when you were with you told me before it was when you guys were with your original
Oh.
Yeah, our original crew.
family
Yeah.
ships.
In any case,
So this ship has never been to a Whisper Wall.
in any case,
Now, if you were going to wake up a giant
Electrocutable.
proto-leviathan moth,
We want to kill that thing.
you know what would be really interesting to do? Would be to wake it up at a Whisper Wall.
Gavin, don't.
You
get
just said you
ideas.
gotta kill it before it gets out. That's like
That's one.
calling me.
That's one idea, and I don't need to hear you.
It's like, you might as well just end that sentence, Gavin. Like, Doc, what are you doing?
in any case, I am going to work off my anger with some fishing simulator gameplay. So I'm gonna grab a random bait thing.
Listen,
You're gonna fish.
Oh no!
You're
I'm gonna fish.
gonna fish off the side of the boat.
Yep.
Fishing in the Wildsea is an interesting sort of thing because it's more like throwing grappling hooks and trying to hook something, and less.
Yeah, but also I've got like a bait thing.
And hope
Or,
that
yeah,
thing
I've
that
got
you
a
pull
fishing
up
lure.
doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
use one of the moths. from
It's
the-
well, so one of the things. You don't listen.
That's like saying just take a tiny little piece off somebody's brain and use it to fish.
So no, listen. So one of the you guys are familiar with the idea of fishing where you like take a worm and put it on a hook. There are lots of ways to do lures for fish that don't involve putting any kind of food item on it. Doc, any kind of fluttering, light, glittering thing in the water will work. In fact, if you're trolling along on a moving ship, what it usually is they have a couple of spinner things and they go like this and it looks like something alive going through the water and then the fish tries to strike it. That Doc. So what you use when you're fishing off of a flying ship is like that. It's a long line and it's got something at the end that flaps like a bird or something. And it kind of does this thing and then things will strike it thinking it's food in the air. And that's how you catch it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's really just kind of, it's almost like holding onto a kite with a fishing line attached and the kite is meant to flutter in very
Yeah, so I've
enticing-
got basically a
small kite, like little.
floppy little chainmail windmill.
It's meant to look like it's like a kite if the kite was designed to look like how a bat flies.
It's also chainmail.
Chainmail?
Yep, it's a piece of chainmail. Canon now. Because shiny.
What are you doing?
You never know.
I'm not going to throw up in front of people.
This is so confusing. He ran after him, then turned around and started biting this like the rope again.
Hard to take
twice.
Yeah,
All right, put it over here.
it's a good idea.
Here's the thing. I'm so sick of cutting these things short, but I don't want you guys to get. I don't want to get you guys sick.
It's fine. We'll do the little.
I didn't hang out with Zoe at all. If I caught this, it's pretty easy to catch.
We'll do the little fisherman game.
If I can skip a day of school, I'll be happy.
She threw up 9 times in 9 hours.
You really want to do that?
And then for the day after, for Saturday, for all of Saturday, she ran a temperature of like 103 and felt like crap the whole day. It's
I
not
mean, if you want to put more hours on.
She literally laid on the couch in my bathrobe for a day. All right, so
Yeah, maybe you could put on the Dragon Ball bathrobe. I got
all right, so here's the deal. I'm going to add we're going to give this one little stinger here at the end. So you guys, the deal is this, there's a cocoon, it's powering the ship, but it's also been used, apparently they've set this thing in here to accumulate dreams at a much faster rate than most small ships would ever accumulate.
Because we're driving around a giant ceramic cruise liner.
Yes. So hundreds of people all the time feeding this thing, whereas normally these are small and are used to provide power for ships that have a crew of like 5 or 6.
Or 3.
Or 3.
Or 3 plus 4 as it.
Right. So
4
the crew and the passengers have been feeding this thing for ages. It's big. Seems like it's fairly soon to hatch. That may be fine. It's a lower cargo bay. It's probably in the belly of the ship. There could be a hatch that opens. It may not destroy the ship. It may be fine. You might have a pet Leviathan. Proto-Leviathan.
I am recommended of the image you generated me of the Leviathan woodpecker with the chain hanging from its neck.
Yeah. It may be a pet. It could be fine. And then Houston, if you don't mind, I'm going to add this thing. He goes, okay, but why did it keep pulsing amber at the one end?
Exactly.
Like every couple of seconds it was, and you guys were affected by this thing, and down below you didn't see this, but there's a constant sort of, you know how when it grabbed his dream there was a little pulse of energy as your dream faded away? There's a constant amber pulse of energy coming in from one end of the cocoon.
That could also be why the amber cultists are here.
No, that's the whisper.
It's not. Yeah, they're trying to get their big hunk of amber to the whisper well. However, there's something inside the amber that could be considered to be sleeping, and its dreams might be feeding the cocoon.
All right, so we side note, we are go for cookies.
Okay, everybody
So
can.
I'm gonna set up.
Okay, so wait, that's the situation. The sleeping thing in amber is also probably feeding the cocoon. The cocoon may be harmless, at least it's planned, but probably what's not planned is whatever gigantic flipping thing is inside that hunk of amber feeding this thing.
We are gonna have kaiju boss fight. We're gonna have a kaiju fight. We're gonna have kaiju fight.
Listen, in the interest of you guys not getting sick, I am going to stop because I don't want to breathe on you and I'm not sure if I'm okay. So I'm sorry. I really wanted this to be a full-length game. We've had bad luck with this the last couple of sessions. And I really do want to wrap up by the end of the school year. But the good news is we can go every weekend if that's okay with your folks, because Zoe's Zoe's group is. What's that?
That should be cool for me.
Yeah,
We probably can't do next weekend because it's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
We won't do next weekend, but after that we can do a couple of weeks in a row and wrap this thing up.
All right.